All right, so we are here in New Plymouth, Bahamas. No, New Plymouth, Great Abaco, Bahamas. Right?
No, Green Turtle Key.
That's the one? So, hey there. So, we are here in Green Turtle Key. We are in New Plymouth, Green Turtle Key, Bahamas. The main reason why we came here is because the other day when we were sailing on our way to Allen's, Pensacola, we had a slight mishap. Although at the time we didn't realize we had a slight mishap. We had got caught in a couple of small squalls on the way there. Nothing major, didn't really, like it was windy and we heeled over and all the things and whatever, but it really wasn't that big of a thing. And then we got to Allen's, Pensacola, and I found some little bits of gray. I didn't know what it was at the time. Yeah, kind of a plasticky fiberglass looking stuff on the deck. So we did an intensive survey, look around of the boat, and found that there is a section about that big that has blown out the side of our Tides Marine mainsail track. So at first I was super disappointed. It took a couple of days of thinking about it and researching and doing all kinds of stuff, and that's why we're talking to you now. So I have since talked to Tides Marine and done a massive scour of the internet, and it turns out that they do have a finite lifespan of about 10 years, it sounds like. The internet, there's lots of people that are getting 15, 16 years out of them, but you know, roughly speaking, about 10 years in sunny environments. And we checked with Tides Marine. They actually have the original order of ours. There's a little number that's on it that you can check. Yeah, exactly. Check with them. And ours was installed in 2009. So it's 15 years old, and I have no hard feelings about the side of it blowing out, other than the fact that we're in the Bahamas and it's, you know, a little bit more difficult to replace and get parts and all that kind of stuff. They can actually send us one. We don't want to wait long enough to get one from there to here, just with being on the very beginning of hurricane season. Right now there's nothing super scary looking, but we don't want to get caught committed to being here and waiting for that track and then have the weather change. So our plan is to get back to the States and replace it stateside. I don't know if we've ever actually talked about that or not. We're in the Bahamas now. We've been here about 2 weeks now. We probably won't be here a whole lot more than about another 2 weeks, and then we'll be headed back to the States. So for today, we're going to be doing something that Tides Marine definitely did not recommend. I don't want to put any onus on them whatsoever. That's my disclaimer. I talked to the technical support at Tides Marine, and he pretty much suggested not doing what we're about to do, which is to pull the Tides Marine track down off the main mast track as far as is necessary to actually cut the damaged section out. And then we're hoping to be able to feed both sections back up the mast, paint it back in place the way it's supposed to be, and we're hoping that either single or double reefed, you know, in light winds, double reefed only kind of thing, use the mainsail again, the way we figure it. Worst case scenario, we're down a mainsail right now, so if we're still down a mainsail because this goes horribly wrong, then we're still down a mainsail and we'll still get a new track back in the States, and then we should be able to sort it out there.
We decided to get a mooring ball while we're doing this. So we came to Donnie's here in, what's this? Black Sound. Yeah. In Green Turtle Key. We didn't want the wake from the boats and all that stuff while Matt's up the mast. So 20 or 25 bucks a night, we'll be on this ball for a couple days. And some water and laundry and showers and all that kind of stuff. It's great to be back on the ball again, have those amenities close at hand, fuel and otherwise is nearby. And I'd much rather be in here. We still have, 15, 16 knots of wind right now. So out there where we were getting rock and rolled by ferry wakes and otherwise last night, would be a little intense being up the mast. So we thought, it's a little bit of money, come into the marina here, grab a ball. Donnie seems like a really nice guy. We highly recommend his facility if you happen to be in Green Turtle Key. Come check out Donnie's. And he didn't pay us to say that.
He just seemed like a really nice guy.
Yeah, and his mooring balls, from what we've read and what we can see so far, are maintained.
Seem like they're in good shape. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let's get this done.
Yeah.
So some of the things I've already done. I've already pulled all of the cars out of the track. I have already rigged our main halyard around a portion of the gooseneck here because my plan is to lift this end of the boom with the main halyard to get it off the gooseneck to be able to hopefully get this track to pass past the gooseneck. That's the plan. Whether that's going to work or not, totally different thing. So let's see how that goes. Okay, so I got this all winched up and I got the gooseneck. I saw everything shifted up just a little bit, but I still can't get this gooseneck pin to come out. And I believe what's keeping this gooseneck pin from coming out is this bolt right here. So that bolt right there is tight with a nylock on it, and I think it's kind of putting a little twist on this part of the gooseneck, and that's what's binding everything. So I'm just gonna slack this nut and bolt ever so slightly. You know what it is? Because I'm lifting from here. Because I'm lifting from here, I'm inducing the twist by lifting on these hooks. Okay, so we're going to let this down. We're going to unwinch it first. And then we're going to let it down. There we go. Still not. I'm not really too sure what to do. You'll have to give me a minute while I think about this. Looks like a Derlin washer, slide washer. That's the extent of how long that drift is. Just like that. Gooseneck pin. Looks to be in okay condition. If we lower just a touch and about, whoop, like that. There we go.
Do we want to tighten up?
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Okay, all right, so we got the gooseneck, which is around the corner over there. We got it out of, or the, I don't even know. I don't know if this is a gooseneck or that's a gooseneck or it's all considered the gooseneck, but we got it apart. And the reason we got it apart is because we're hoping, maybe foolishly, but hoping that if I loosen this, and this tides track is allowed to come down, we're hoping that we can get the track to come out just far enough to clear the rest of this gooseneck. And we're hoping that this track doesn't snap as I flex it like this. The broken section is now right down there. So once we can get it just a little bit further, which it's running into our table back there, but once we can get it just a little bit further and get it kind of flat in that section over there, then I'm going to take a hacksaw and cut that section out. Basically going to cut once here, and then we're going to feed that section back up the track on the back of the mast, and then feed this section in behind it. And hopefully we can run like double reefed, minimize the sail pressure on it, and hope it doesn't blow out its side, somewhere else. No matter how you figure it, it's 15 years old, it's sunrod, it's toast, it needs replacing. This is not a not a fix it and forget it program. This is a, you know, trying to have the main available at least for something, sometimes, if we needed to. One of the things I'm going to do just to try and make sure everything fits together properly is I'm just going to do just a little bit of filing just to take any kind of a burr off, and I'm also going to do a little bit on the inside of the track as well, so that in hopes that the car will have a little, you know, easier time passing from one section of track to the other. Okay, so now we're gonna stuff this one back up the track. So, Kim mentioned something while we were cutting that I actually hadn't considered yet, and that's part of the reason why I love my Genius Wife. I had always intended on taking this other piece that was the bottom section and ramming it up here after this one. But if we don't do that and we just use this one piece and not that piece at all, I suspect that we for sure could actually run double reefed 100%. The top would be less tall than that, the top of this track we just rammed back up in there. And maybe even single reefed.
Really?
So now I've loosened this bolt right here, so this is all loosey-goosey, which makes things a little easier to line up, hopefully. So we're relatively close right where we are, and I think I can kind of manhandle the difference that needs manhandling there. But we for sure need our gooseneck pin. And that goes down through here. No. It's got like a twist to it. Or something. Okay. So I'm pulling the boom forward and Kim just drive that last bit of the pin in. Got her.
Yes.
Gooseneck reassembled it.
Yeah, I did something.
Oh, whatever, you've been doing something the whole time. And so, heavy duty key ring.
Blows my mind.
Done.
How many of those are on a sailboat?
Yeah, key rings.
That's all that it is.
Stainless key rings aplenty. So now, the hard part is going to be, I forgot about how much stack height is right here. So we're definitely not gonna be able to feed cars in this gap. So we're probably gonna have to hold this up here. And then the really hard part is trying to figure out which car is in the right order. Yeah, so let's set this down for now. So now we are going to drop, I'm gonna put a little tension on just in case, and we're gonna drop the halyard tension. There, that just settled onto that slip disc, or Durlin washer, or whatever your correct name for it is in fancy sailing terminology. So, now, get all that crap over there. We get this shoved up here. Then we should be able to slide that car inside. And then find the next one. So we're just gonna keep working our way through these. And the only real major thing we need to watch for is that we don't pull the head car out of the top. So that was a little harder than I would have assumed it would be. So we got all the cars back in the track. We have discovered that our second reef point, this one here, brings the head of the sail just shy of the track length that we have now. So theoretically, we are capable of double reefed main again. We had a hell of a time getting this ring here back in there. To get this pin through it again was exceptionally difficult for a while, until I realized that it was the lazy jack that starts right here and runs all back through all this stuff that was actually holding us back. Once I loosened it, it was easy peasy.
Yeah, it was.
So we are technically all put back together again now. I need to tighten up the hull back again. And we need to, I'm gonna make the second reef point like semi-permanent. It just hooks on this hook here. We still need to drill the hole through here to put the little stopper block on the bottom, and that'll stop the cars from coming too low here. And then theoretically we could go sailing right now if we wanted to.
Oh, I have so much hope that this is gonna work.
Well, it's gonna work. I mean, short of the track blowing out again,
yeah.
Which was our fault. We jibed. We could have jibed more gently than we did. It wasn't a crash jibe by any stretch of the imagination, but I believe it happened the one time when we jibed slightly more aggressively than we could have if we had just centered the boom, jibed, and then gone from there. And I think that's when it failed. Certainly if in downwind conditions, I'm gonna be extra careful until we get this track replaced. Okay. So that's pretty much job done. There's just a few other tidying up things to do, and that's pretty much it. So I think we removed, what is that? About 9-10 feet, something like that. About 9 or 10 feet of our tides track, which forces us into a double reefed situation at all times. But I'll take it.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
We'll take it.
Absolutely, I'll take it. So.
I love my name for this stability.
Exactly. I mean, we'll get less of it double reefed, but at least it's something. Yeah. Heck yeah. Hell yeah.
Good job.
Thank you.
Good teamwork.
Yes, very much so. Whew. I'm tired.
That was a lot.
That was a lot of work, but we were successful. My beautiful, brilliant wife's plan seems to have worked out perfectly. We used only the top section. We managed to get all the cars back in again. We are capable of double reefed only, but I will take it.
Yeah.
Double reefed, we're what, maybe 3 feet from the end? Like the topmost car is like about 3 feet from the end of the track.
So no chance of it blowing up the top.
Yeah, so yeah. So,
Complete.
Tides Marine track, totally new, completely replaced. Never have to think about it again until we get a new one.
We know what to do.
But now we got a pretty good idea on how to install a new one when it shows up. We're definitely not going to have it sent to the Bahamas. I don't really feel like paying VAT and all that other stuff to get it sent. That would also, I think we talked about this before, but I'll reiterate now, that would also pigeonhole us into needing to stay here in Green Turtle Key at least until it arrived. And we don't know what's going to happen with hurricane season. We know we're treading like right on the edge of, not disaster, but on the edge of riskiness, being into June and still being here. We know without a doubt that we can clear out and be out of the Bahamas in 2.5 days, 3 days, call it. We can be out of the Bahamas and back in Florida. So we're watching the weather forecast. I watch multiple different meteorologist YouTube channels, as well as Chris Parker's update, as well as several other weather updates from NOAA and otherwise. So we got our eyes on the hurricane situation, rest assured. Hopefully,
Yes.
that means that we're okay to get out of here without getting any craziness. But we don't want to end up pigeonholed here for another 10 days to 2 weeks waiting for the track to show up. We managed to get all that gooseneck back put back together again. We got the sail all hooked back up again. We got the second reefing is like semi-permanently installed. So yeah, we got everything all set back to where it was supposed to be, minus about 10 feet of track, and we're exhausted. I'm not gonna lie to you. There is no question in my mind. Yeah, that was all afternoon. There's no question in my mind that it is Rum and Tang time. Yes, we got some weird water from one of the marinas we were at a couple of towns ago, or a couple of places ago, and it tasted terrible. So we came up with this plan that we needed to get either iced tea mix, Kool-Aid mix, or we were actually looking for Gatorade powder is what we were looking for, but we went for the next best thing, straight up old-fashioned orange flavored Tang. So it turns out that Tang and rum is really quite good together. So that's what I'm gonna do. Yes. You do whatever you like to do, and we'll catch up to you next time. All right, thank you so much for joining us this week. We hope this was somewhat educational. It certainly was for us. We learned all kinds of things. I've never taken the boom off a sailboat before. Thank you for joining us. Please, if you haven't yet, like and subscribe, comment if you're so inclined. Let us know all the things that you saw that we did horribly wrong. We want to say a special thank you to our patrons, and an extra special thank you to the names that you're seeing on the screen now for always going the extra mile to make sure that these episodes continue to get made and continue to get better and better and better.
Yes. We'll see you guys next time.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.